Of a disappointing guide for next quarter on the global streaming paid net additions, which is where the miss comes in for the most part. It's 2.5 million, the guide for next quarter of paid net additions. The forecast people were expecting was for closer to 7 million, so a big miss on that. But let's just run through the quarter looking backwards. So a revenue for this past quarter, 7.7 billion, that was in line. EPS was a beat for this past quarter, 133. The forecast was for only 82 cents. And the paid net additions was a slight beat, 8.3 million. The expectation was for 8.2 million. When we get onto the forecast for next quarter, the revenue part of it is only slightly light, about 7.9 billion, whereas people were expecting 8.1. The EPS is a miss, 286. The forecast for next quarter, people were expecting 346. And the paid net additions for next quarter, as I mentioned, is where we have this big miss and why the shares are sliding. That is a forecast of 2.5 million paid net additions. The expectation from analysts was for 6.9. Let's bring in Julia Boorstin, who has more color on these numbers as they cross, and the share price slips, 9% now, Julia?
Yeah, Wilf, I think you're absolutely right to focus in on that forecast for Q1 subscribers coming at 2.86. The fact that it is so low indicates that Netflix does not see the rebound in subscriber growth that many had hoped it would see in the first quarter. It is, less than half of the 6.9 million that analysts had been anticipating. The company, in its letter to shareholders, saying, we're optimistic about our long-term growth prospects as streaming supplants linear entertainment around the world, and we're continually improving Netflix so we can please our members, grow our share of leisure time, and lead in this transition. Crucial that they're saying leisure time, meaning that they're not just competing against the other subscription services. So they note that their U.S.-Canada region added 1.2 million paid memberships in the fourth quarter. That is growth from the third quarter when it added just 70,000 paid memberships. And remember, in the quarter before that, and it was flat, did not add any new subscribers. So, or actually negative. So they are showing growth in U.S. and in Canada that was better than anticipated, but it was the EMEA region that was the largest contributor to paid net adds in the quarter, though it added 3.5 million, a million fewer than in the prior year. So really interesting to look at the trends here. One thing that's interesting is they have a chart here showing weekly global paid net adds year to date, and the trend is going higher. So it's traditionally, it always, trends up towards the end of the year. They did see that number rise into the end of 2021, and it looks like it's going to continue to rise through the year, though at a lower rate. So we do see slowing weekly global net adds in 2022. They talk about operating margin of 19% to 20%, and they also talk about the strengthening of the U.S. dollar. The stock is down about 10%. Wilf, back over to you.